it's Don Skaggs again for Empowered Inventing, the one place where you can go where we try to help you help other people by taking your great innovation, the right opportunity, mixing that with sound wisdom so you can turn them into real things like products and businesses that actually make money. Now, today I want to talk to a certain number of you inventors out there. And some of you know who you are, some of you might not know who you are. Some of you out there you're doing great. You're following things like our idea steps. You're following a good program. You're making progress. You're doing the right things. You're on top of it, and I want to commend you for that. For you others, I've got one big thing one big tough love thing I want to say, and that is stop doing stupid stuff with your invention or your startup. Now, I've had the unfortunate privilege of counseling with so many inventors who just did really dumb stuff with their invention and paid for it painfully with a lot of money. I can think of one guy right now, and he went to one of our workshops, and he was telling us, he said, I'm embarrassed to say how much I spent with these guys, but I could have bought a nice car. And that was one of probably the lesser stories that I could tell you, because some of the stories are just absolutely heartbreaking. And does that mean you shouldn't be an inventor? Should that mean you shouldn't be an entrepreneur? You shouldn't take risks, and you shouldn't? No, but you should do it smart. You should acquire the right wisdom first. I always say you put 3 things into an invention or a product or a startup. You put time, you put money, but you put this third ephemeral thing called wisdom. And if you don't have the wisdom first, because that's the most important of the 3, and the most valuable of the 3 as well, if you don't put that in, the time and money you'll likely take and pour down a hole. And unfortunately, I have seen poor inventors, novice inventors, bereft of the wisdom. They don't know they need that wisdom first, and they have taken a ton of their time and a ton of their money, and they poured it down a drain because they did not know where they needed to spend it. So let me warn, let me beg, let me plead with you, if you've not done some of these things already, not to do these things. I'm the guy at the entrance of the bridge waving my arms, jumping up and down because the bridge is out, and you don't want to go in that direction. Now, the first one I want to tell you is, and I said this in a previous video, don't have a throw the keys mentality and blindly buy services that you don't understand. It doesn't matter if you're buying a service from me, if you're buying one of our classes, if you're buying consulting services, you still want to do your homework. And sometimes you can just go on the internet and look at reviews. Sometimes you can find things from a Google search. Now, sometimes you can't. I saw there was one horrific story of a company out of Florida that got oh shoot, I'm going to blank out on the it was a government regulatory agency that cracked down on them. The Trade Commission, FDA. I want to say FDA. That's not right either. Federal Trade Commission, FTC, that was it. Anyway, the FTC came down on them for just, they were an inventor promotion company, and they just cracked down on them, and they said, hey, you guys are, you're lying to these people, you're taking these people for the money, and they were taking, millions of dollars from poor inventors that didn't have a lot of money, and they were giving them services that were, in some instances, some of these companies, it's just legal enough to, or it's just valid enough to be legal, but otherwise completely worthless. So do your homework. But what I was going to say about that was this one company that the FTC cracked down on, finally remember those letters, they actually used to put, because I remember one time somebody was asking me, what about, Don, what about this company here? And I went and looked them up, and they had all these glowing reviews on Google. All these glowing reviews. Well, guess what? They weren't real reviews. So you want to do your homework, but in addition to that, get references from sources that you know. If you don't belong to an inventor group in your local area, you need to go and get involved with an inventor group. And there's lots of ways to find us. There's the old organization, the UIA, United Inventors Association. I think it's UIAUSA.org. And then there's the IGA, inventleaders.org. And we belong to both of those. You can find us there, kyinventors.org, our organization in Kentucky. We also do an online thing, so if you don't have a group near you, you can always go online and join us for our meetings there. But get around other inventors, good, smart inventors that are doing it and doing it right and being taught the right things. And you really, really want to do that. Wherever you are in your area, there's tons of us out there across the country. You might find a good one. If you can find a good one, get involved and really get references. Say, hey, does anybody know about this company? Does anybody work with this company? Anybody can tell me anything about this particular service provider? So never ever buy products or services you do not completely understand. If they're waving a lot of smoke and mirrors, especially if they're trying to plead to you, what I call it, trying to manipulate your greed and fear. They're saying, oh, we've got $1 million opportunity right here, and if you don't send us another $5,000, well, it's just going to evaporate and you're going to miss it. Or they'll say, well, somebody's about to steal your idea. You want to hurry and get that thing. You want to hurry and spend another $5,000, $10,000 with us so we can get you that patent that's probably not a real good one, and get it to you. Because if they're acting like that, if they're behaving that way, they're probably not going to be selling you a good product. So many times I have seen this happen. So don't have a throw the keys mentality. Be in charge. You're the one that has to be in the driver's seat. You're the one that needs to learn how to drive the bus and be the one driving the freaking bus. Now, another thing is thinking that a patent means instant millionaire. I don't know how many inventors think this, and I just do not understand that. Just because you have a patent, it doesn't mean anything as far as marketability, as far as selling them. Now let me tell you a great story about this, and some of you have heard me tell this story before, but it's a great one. I got issued a patent one time, a few years back, one of the patents, and my wife was at work the next day, and she was just casually telling her coworkers, well, yeah, my husband got issued a patent yesterday. And when she told me this story, she says the look on their faces was just priceless. She says they looked at her, and their mouths just dropped open. And they looked at her with this sense of awe. And they looked at her and they said, well, why, you're going to be rich. Of course, now she laughed. And when she came home and told me, I laughed, because we both knew what apparently they and so many other people do not know, is that a patent only has value when it's connected to a product that is making money. Otherwise, I have seen so many of these nice little plaques you can buy. Nothing wrong with these plaques, but you can put these plaques on the wall that show your patent and stuff. And I've seen these plaques on the wall of really, really smart people, really intelligent people. People put them up in their offices, and there's nothing wrong with that. I bought one for my dad one time, and they've got them on the wall in there. But a lot of times, those patents on the wall represent products that have never sold the first item. And that's just sad. But that makes my point. It does, having a patent, it's just one small piece in the much larger puzzle. Now, let me tell you another one here. If you are still, and this is especially to you guys who are doing startups, guys and gals, and I say guys, I mean everybody, you know what I'm talking about. So if you're, especially if you're a startup, you're out there and you're still counting the play money. And what I mean by that is you're a startup and maybe you got funding, which is great. That's a good thing. People believed in you, and you got funding with an investment. Or even better, maybe you got funding with a grant. Maybe you got one of those SBIR grants, which are really, really good if you can get them. But it's not revenue. And when that funding runs out, guess what? If you don't have sustainable revenues, your business is going to collapse. But so many people will look at that money and they'll think of it as, we're rich. Oh, we've got money now. We're okay. We can. No, it's just giving you the opportunity to make money, whether it's a grant, whether it's investment, whatever it is giving you the opportunity to make money. So don't count it as revenues. It's not. You ever win those pitch competitions? You get that nice big giant cardboard check and you get your picture taken with somebody and oh, it's great, and it's like throwing gasoline and lighting a match to your ego. It is just euphoric. It's play money. It's not real revenues. Don't count it like that. Now, another thing is, and this is a big one, not budgeting right for all the steps. And this kind of goes back to, I think I'm going to be an instant millionaire, so I'm going to spend all my money on getting a patent. And I'm not going to do anything. I've seen just these, oh gosh, sad stories where inventors come in and they've got their little prototype and they've spent maybe $10,000 on that. They've spent another $20 on a patent, and they come into our workshop and they say, okay, I am now ready to see if these are going to sell. Or, you know, the only thing I have yet to do is sell this. And, or if they've been trying a little bit, they're saying, well, you know, I haven't had any luck trying to market or sell this because they did it backwards. It's like doing the rinse cycle and then adding the soap in the washing machine. You have to do this stuff smart and in the right order. So don't get things out of priority and out of order. And we have something we call idea steps. And guess what? Patenting is not the first step. Now there's a lot of steps you get, and these are fast iterations. This isn't a 10-year process. No, you go through these very, very fast, and patenting is a little further up. And it's strategic and in different steps. But it's not the first thing. So if you spend everything on your IP and you run out of money and you don't have any money for marketing, you're done. You're toast. So don't do that. That's a stupid thing. That's dumb things people do, and they wonder in the end, and they get all mad and stuff at the end. Oh, you know, I thought I was going to be a millionaire with this, and it just didn't work out at all. And really, it's because they didn't acquire the wisdom first, and they did stupid things. Don't do stupid with your invention, and throw away all your money. Do it right. Do it smart. Do things in the right order. You have to have the dreaded B word, which is called budget. You say, okay, we're going to spend this much on prototyping. We're going to spend this much on market research or marketing. We're going to spend this much on IP, and we're going to do it all in this right order. Now, if you're looking for more information about buying services, and you're going to want to check out my course, Who Do You Trust? Which is a very apt name for this topic. It's on empoweredinventing.com. Go there, go to Empowered Inventing Academy and see all of our courses there. But the one in particular that has to do with this topic is called Who Do You Trust? Buying services, buying products and services in the inventor industry. So check that out. I hope this was helpful for you. I'm Don Skaggs. This is Empowered Inventing TV. Like and subscribe, share this with someone you think it might be helpful for, and I will look to see you at the next meeting, workshop, maybe one of our online classes, or on the next video.